Microdose, yeah, Microdose. Hosted by Kush, Hayes, and Robyn Seto. Talking the talk, cause they got things for you to know. Let's go party with Miss Robyn in the games on Cameo, yeah. Microdose, Microdose, dose, dose. Microdose, Microdose, dose, dose. Microdose, Microdose, dose, dose. Microdose, Microdose, dose, dose. What gets this next? Go and take a guess. No matter who it is, every episode's the best. Every episode's the best. Every episode's the best. If you disagree, you're crazy, simple as chess. Microdose, 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 yeah, microdose.
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here, coming to Microdose number 85. Holy Moses! How did we get so deep into this? Well, to answer that question, with me as always, Robyn Seto, Miss Robyn, if you're nasty. How you doing, Robyn?
Hey, I'm okay. Well, you know, we keep doing it every week, and as it turns out, if you do it enough weeks, you get higher up in the numbers of having done them. And
All right.
So, how about that?
Well, that math does seem to add up, and come New Year's Eve, we're actually going to hit 100 microdoses. So I'm just throwing that out there right now, folks. Be prepared for something. We're going to try and do something special for that. But speaking about special, we always like to have our guests come back when we've had a great time with them, and this guest is no different. She's an award-winning producer. She's a stunt choreographer. She's the CEO of Iron Dragon TV, but she's also a former Robyn Seto Cameo Party champion. Janell Smith, how you doing? Welcome to the Microdose once again.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having me again. I really appreciate it. You make, my evening fun, so thank you.
Hey.
We had a great time with you last time. Thank you for coming out again. We're here to talk about the Iron Dragon Action Fest 2021 edition just happened. I was fortunate enough to be asked to be a judge, and I had a great time doing that. It's one of the first times I've ever done anything like that. So I didn't know if I did everything correctly, but I had a great time, and I appreciate you bringing me in to be a part of that.
Oh my gosh, you did amazing. I mean, you were fantastic. I hope you had fun watching some of those cool films.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and there's so much talent out there, and it's just great to see all of these great filmmakers coming together. And yes, you did awesome. We loved having you as our guest judge, and you were fantastic. And we're already getting ready to prep for next year, and hopefully it will be in person next year. And we'd love to have you come visit in Austin.
Please, I would love to be a part of that. I would love to come all the way out to Austin. It would be my first, it would actually technically be my second time in Texas, but the first time was just only in an airport, so I don't think it counts.
No, you have to actually go into Austin, check out downtown Austin, all of the local draws. And I tell you what, we got a lot of cool people moving here. Joe Rogan lives here. I heard J-Lo was going to be in town with Ben Affleck working on a film. So, and of course, Matthew McConaughey lives here. So yeah, you got to come and hang out with the fun, cool people, huh? You're going to fit right in.
Everybody loves Matthew McConaughey. Now, I understand he might actually be trying to run for governor of Texas. Can you confirm or deny that?
I cannot confirm or deny. I have no idea, but it would not surprise me.
Would you vote for Matthew McConaughey?
Oh, that's a tough question. I have to look to see, To
be fair, you haven't heard any of his platforms, so.
I haven't. I really haven't. As far as politics, I don't know. I love him as an actor. I love him as, in fact, I had the opportunity to work with him for the NBC Golf Channel. I was a producer on that segment since I was local here in Austin. And we were on set. He likes to play golf, so I was out there with them, and he's just really the nicest guy. He really is. So
he seems like just a very cool, down-to-earth dude, right?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, he just walked in, ready for the interview, and had just been playing golf and was very relaxed with everyone. So it was a lot of fun. So yeah, I think, that type of personality, I think he would definitely do some good, in politics, I think. I know there's a lot of negative things as far as people in Hollywood getting in politics, but yeah, no, I think he would do great. We love him here in Austin.
Yeah, he seems like a guy who cares about the community, and the community loves him back. And we're going to see more about that. Before we start talking about a little more about Iron Dragon's Action Fest, Nova, I understand filming is completed.
Yes. So I was a producer on a feature film called Nova, sci-fi feature, and that was a lot of fun. We wrapped up on that. We just had our private screening with the cast and crew, and it went really great. So we're on to the next phase, getting distribution. So we're looking at different distribution companies to pick it up. And you will either see it in theaters or streaming someplace. So yeah, very exciting.
That's fantastic. That's amazing. I look forward to seeing that. What are you looking at in the theaters right now? Shang-Chi just came out this previous weekend. Cop Shop, Joe Carnahan film came out. I had a great time at that. Has anything been on your radar?
Have you seen Shang-Chi?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Or Shang-Chi. I think it's Shang-Chi. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it correctly.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. I've seen it twice already. I loved it.
All right. I enjoyed the Shang-Chi too, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. Like I'm going to let everyone on a secret. I'm not Chinese, so I don't. I might say it just a little bit differently, but you know who I'm talking about. And Simu Liu, I'm a big fan of his. He actually threw out the first pitch at a Giants game the weekend it came out, and it was against the Dodgers. And I like to think it brought us a little luck, and we creamed him. So
wow,
I'm a huge fan of Shang-Chi now. He's A-OK in my book.
Oh, that's very cool. Wow. Yeah, he's he was in a Korean comedy show, which I didn't know. So now I'm going to go back and watch that show.
Oh, is that the thing on Netflix, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah, I know everyone's checking that out. Yeah, I'm just gonna let everyone else watch that, but I'm looking forward to some more Simu Liu. And there's we talked about stunt performers last time you were here, and you gave us a good list. Is there any female performers out there that we should be on the lookout for, like a Heidi Moneymaker or?
That's the main one. That is the she's
number one.
Yeah, she's number one, doing a lot of awesome stunts. Now, at our first IDTV Action Fest, I had a guest out. Her name is Caitlin Deschelle. And I met Caitlin at a martial arts tournament several years ago. And, as a young athlete. And then a few years later, she gets a call from Jackie Chan to work on one of his films. And then she doubled for the first Wonder Woman in the first Wonder Woman film. So yeah, Caitlin Deschelle, she's awesome, up and coming stunt woman, real deal martial artist, black belt, you name it. And she's, very, very talented. So yeah.
I had mentioned Cop Shop just a couple minutes ago, and that's the new Joe Carnahan movie. It feels very 70s influenced, which normally annoys me, but it works in this. And it's still, it's Gerard Butler, who's a heavy guy. It's Frank Grillo, who's always a physical dude. And these guys, for the most part, are actually just like, they're working in a cage, so they don't get much of an opportunity to be physical. But the star of the show, they credit her as an introducing, but she's got an IMDb page that's a couple inches long. Alexis Louder. Like, this chick stole the show. I think she's the best part of it. I look forward to seeing more of her. She could totally be one of the Dora Milaje in Black Panther, and maybe that's why we didn't recognize her. Like, just total skin-headed chick. But she can act, she can emote. She's very physical when it required her to be. She's literally just jumping over shit and running through explosions. Like, she's the real deal. And I totally recommend checking out Cop Shop. Okay. Especially
definitely. Okay, I'll check that out. I had not heard about it, and I'm going to check out, all of her work as well. That sounds amazing. One that I caught the other day, I don't know if you've seen on Netflix, is a movie called Kate. And
No,
I was
what's that about?
pleasantly surprised. Oh my gosh. It's basically a female John Wick. And the
Okay.
actress, I don't know who did her stunt double work. It looked like the actress actually did a lot of her stunts, but of course, there were some cutaways. So I'm sure that's when the double stepped in. But amazing! Oh my gosh, I was like floored. I'm like, oh wow, now this is pretty cool.
Hmm.
So yeah, female John Wick, and the movie's called Kate on Netflix.
Okay, on Netflix. Okay, I'm probably gonna check that out then later tonight. Here, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Okay, yeah, Woody Harrelson. You've already got my attention.
Yeah, yeah.
Hour 46. That's not an unreasonable time. Time seems to be everything for me these days, but we'll see here. So let's talk about the film festival. How was
Yeah.
the draw this year? I'm not necessarily asking for numbers, but like, was it better than last year? Was there an impact because of
Yeah,
COVID?
yeah, we knew that the numbers were going to be pretty low again because it's a virtual,
Hmm.
festival again this year.
Hmm.
And we were planning for that. But, we're using also this time to build up for a big in-person festival for next year. That's why, we've already added you to our list. We want you to come to Austin. But
I'll be there.
yeah, we're excited for next year. But this year, the numbers weren't bad,
Okay.
but we just knew going in they weren't going to be a big draw because everything is virtual, everything is pulling for people's attention right now.
Hmm.
So that's not the first thing on their list. And film festivals, you have to have an actual physical in person to make it fun, because you want to go into a movie and watch these movies with your friends, talk about it, hang out with the filmmaker. That's
Hmm.
always the fun part, is meeting the actual filmmakers or the cast and crew of the film.
Dig it.
So yeah.
We had 5 categories to work through this year, and there was over 100 entries. Now,
Yeah.
was there anything that stood out to you, like how did this get in here? Now let me elaborate on that a little further. As I was going through everything, like there was obviously the feature lengths, and there was some short films, but then I found like someone just submitted like original composition, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
well, okay. Someone submitted just a script, or maybe even just a treatment, and I was like, oh, I don't know how to react to that. But was
Yeah.
there anything that stood out to you, like why did this? Someone actually sent like a religious manifesto, Robyn Seto. I don't remember what religion it was for, but there's definitely some Bible thumping happening here. And I was like, oh, okay. But
Yeah.
anything that stood out to you, Janell?
Well, that's exactly it. We got so many submissions this year, but a lot of them did not really fit our categories. Because we are an action film festival. I mean, it doesn't have to have action in every scene, but it has to have some, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And yeah, we had some films that had really none.
Hmm.
So, I mean, even though they were a good film, we just had to say sorry. This is an action film festival. Now, that's not to say that in the next year or so we may not branch out and open it up to drama, thriller, different genres.
Mm-hmm.
But right now we're specific action. And I'm right there with you. I was starting to through them thinking, okay, interesting.
I'm not trying to like bring a negative, and I'm not trying to make fun of anybody, and I'm not going to like throw anybody on the spot, but there was someone did a Death Wish tribute or homage, or just their version of Death Wish. And it's Robyn Seto. The thing is, I want to say it's like 85 minutes. So I was feeling optimistic. Again, length is a big thing for me. Like, oh my God, how long are we going to be here? But it's like a good hour and 5 minutes before we get to any Death Wish stuff, before he finally like gets revenge. The main character, even like at one point, is like he enters a jujitsu class, and we have a little montage, but then he gets beat up 2 more times, and then he goes back to the jujitsu school, and the teacher there's just like, dude, maybe you should just get a gun. I don't know, like that's
Oh, Lord.
what's crazy is I've actually seen another movie of that gentleman, the guy who directed this and starred in it. Again, I'm not trying not trying to talk shit. This guy's actually a workhorse. He's actually got like, he's made like 15 or 16 movies before this. One of them starred Fred Williamson, and it's bizarre. It was also not very well edited, as it's very hard to hear. Like, I've got a very brand new 4K beautiful flat screen TV here. It doesn't have like a sound system or anything, but I had to turn the volume like up to 76 just to hear it. And then at that point, I was just like, let's see if there's closed caption. Oh, there's closed caption. All right, well, at least that's a plus. So I'm not afraid of subtitles. I'll read this movie. But yeah, I was surprised that gentleman actually got a feature in. But let's not focus on negative. That's I was kind of bummed out that he didn't make the festival. Is there an honorable mention out of all this that caught your eye, Mr. Nell?
Well, I have to say that there was a film by a local filmmaker, Jody Zung, and I believe this was his first film. So he's one of my honorable mentions, and because he's in Austin. Was there any honorable mentions that you can think of that didn't make
absolutely. Okay. One of my honorable mentions was Falling Sparrow. And actually, I had the pleasure of interviewing the director. I had no idea that he was so young. That he's like 22 years old.
Oh, wow.
Falling Sparrow it wasn't longer than 20 minutes. It was a very short film, but there was an actual story there. There was some fantastic choreography that went into it. It was a full-on thing, and not knowing who directed it, watching it, I was like, this is a very competent film by probably someone in his 30s trying to stretch $1. And then I saw like, oh no, this is a kid who made a movie on his lunch money.
Wow.
I mean, he had a producer behind him and all that too. But I was sad to see Falling Sparrow didn't make it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad you have your honorable mention. Those are important because there are so many, really, but we only have 5. We have only have 5. Yeah.
That's true. One more I really enjoyed was Deadlock.
Yes.
I think that came straight out of China, right?
Oh, yes.
It's maybe 20 minutes long, but it's a full-on crime drama. There's lots of location changes. The choreography and the action is they put a lot of time into that, and they went balls to the wall, for lack of a better term. Again, it doesn't faze me. The entire thing is in Chinese, so I have no problem following it. But I think maybe that might have hurt it a little bit. I just don't know, but I was surprised that didn't make it.
So I'm going to have to definitely make a post about it. That he's a list of all of our honorable mentions from the podcast. I think is going to be great.
No, I definitely agree with some of the choices we have here. There's one that I think that there might be a controversial topic that we'll talk about in a minute here, but the best stunt team went to Nightfall, and Nightfall has a lot of money on that screen. It's not necessarily a full-length feature, but there was a lot of money, not just in the stunts, but the action. Like there's Robyn Seto, they blow shit up in this thing. It was very well done.
That was a budget, definitely a budget.
I think it's probably the most expensive thing that entered Action Fest, and I mean, I'm just making a speculation there.
You're right.
Best choreography, Officer Down. Yeah, that was one of the 3 I nominated for sure. So when that came up, I was like, that makes total sense, especially just that whole fight scene right at the beginning where Martin Delaney, who would end up actually taking Best Actor, he ends up having to do it's a 2-on-1 handicap match.
Were you able to interview him? I couldn't remember if he was one of your guests.
Not Martin Delaney, but the director himself, Simon Pierce.
That's right.
So,
okay.
He's all the way from the United Kingdom. We had to do a special time. Unfortunately, Robyn couldn't make it that day, but it's a really good interview. Yeah, I would recommend everyone check that out. It's only a few microdoses previous.
Okay.
So now we get to best scene, and I don't necessarily know how to gauge best scene. So when I nominated my 3, I was like, it's between like the 12-minute and the 14-minute window. Like I tried to give it a little timestamp. Mortal Kombat 1, and this might be controversial. I didn't watch it. I definitely watched it before we spoke tonight, but going into it, I was just like, another Mortal Kombat fan film. Yeah, we don't need it. Having seen it now, it's all the action's on the screen. It's all very well done. Those guys know how to use a camera. They're very good with their cuts. They're good with their angles. The story still did nothing for me, and it still feels like a Mortal Kombat fan film when he actually, the gentleman involved actually has all these resources at his tip. He had eight actors, 7 of them knew martial arts, and they could have done something else in this bar situation. They could have just had a bar fight. That would have been a better story. That's just my opinion, though. I think the judges might have got this one wrong, but I was one of the judges, so there it is. What were your thoughts on Mortal Kombat? Did you nominate something else entirely? I think best scene might be the one we debate about the most.
Yeah, it is. I think that's usually the category that everyone will have a different one, So, after watching it, I thought, yeah, it's pretty good. The fight scenes are good. But once again, yes, when you have a team of judges, the majority wins. So, yeah. I'm not going to say yay or what I voted for.
Okay. That's fair. Going into this, I have no idea who our other judges were. I imagine you were one of them. I could be wrong on that, but I don't know if we had 100 judges on our hands or if there was maybe 5 of us. But yeah, I think the judges might have got this one wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's there's always going to be one category, like you said, that it's just. Yeah, not everyone's going to agree upon, but I think overall, especially when it comes down to best film, that's where we pretty much all agree. So,
oh, for sure. Yeah. But before we get to best film, we got best actor, and that's Martin Delaney, and he's in Officer Down. And Officer Down is a solid film, Robyn Seto. It's literally about it takes place in the United Kingdom. There's a riot going on. Some ill shit just went down in the city. We don't necessarily know what. We don't necessarily need to know what, but the police need to lock this block down for some people's protections and hopefully to catch some bad guys. And our hero Martin Delaney accidentally walks into the wrong building by himself, and then trouble follows him. Now, when I saw that the Martin Delaney won Best Actor, I was like, okay, yeah, he's really good in that. I actually went the opposite direction, and that was with Ben Turner, who was the villain.
Okay, yeah.
I thought he gave a much more solid performance. Like, he's chewing up the scenery. He's just like, how dare you come to my neighborhood where I run shit around here and tell me that I'm doing wrong? Like, you guys are persecuting us. And it's a whole thing that culturally I probably don't understand from the United Kingdom, but I was just like, oh, tell me more. Tell me more, Ben Turner. What's going on out here?
I hope you can get one of those actors, on your podcast. I think that would be so cool for you to interview, maybe both of them. That would be awesome if you can.
That would be wonderful. I agree. I'm not going to ask you to tell me who if you thought the correct winner won, but I also enjoyed honorable mention Hannah Ho from Falling Sparrow again. This woman has a mask on the entire time, and all of her acting is performed through just facial gestures and hand motions, and I think that says a lot here.
Yeah, honorable mention, definitely. Yes.
Best film, Officer Down, solid film. I enjoyed every minute of it. I like the set that they used. They ended up just. That's a warehouse. That was all one warehouse. I was just like, no, they probably went to 4 or 5 different places. No, that's all one spot.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah. I know, it's amazing how they can take one area and totally change it. Production design, those magicians, and I've seen it, firsthand. One little area or small studio space, they can totally transform. So yeah, my hat's off to production designers. Yay.
Nice. This was the sum whole of the Iron Dragon Action Fest for 2021. Again, thank you very much for asking me to be a part of it this year, Janell. I sincerely appreciate it.
We're honored to have you, and thank you so much for being, available for us and for taking the time to watch all these films, because that does take time. And I just hope you had fun and it was a fun experience. And now that you know what goes into these film festivals, it's just a lot of watching films, and you just have to set aside some time and sit down and go through them. And after a while you're like, okay, content, a lot of films to watch.
It definitely needs to be done in partial doses, microdoses even.
Oh, there you go.
I'm hearing some music here. Janell Smith, I think it's time for the Robyn Seto Cameo Party. Robyn Seto Cameo Party. Robyn Seto, we got a game tonight.
We got a game. Yes, for our returning champ. Once again, I have made a list of lovely women, not just lovely women, but pretty kick-ass, badass ladies for my cameo game. Yes, this is my cameo party, where I go to cameo.com and make a list of celebrities, usually with a theme. And we play like a little Price is Right type game, where I have Kush go up against our guest to guess the price of each cameo. All right. So yes, we have cool, badass ladies, and we will have our champion guess first. You
Drum
ready?
roll.
Yeah, you're ready for
I'm ready.
the first ladies. Well, the first on our list here, we have the Sasuke Sisters, also known as the Twisted Twins. Here's some little background information about these ladies.
Please.
There's Jennifer and Sylvia Sasuke. They are kind of like gothic twin personalities. They hosted a game show called The Hellevator, which was very entertaining. Highly recommend if you can find it somewhere. They also did some directing of movies for a WF studio that was See No Evil 2 and Vendetta. And they also wrote some comics for Marvel, most recently a Black Widow series from 2019.
Oh
my god!
Wow.
So yeah, so they're kind of in kind of underground. They're from Canada, but they're kind of all right. So what do you think these lovely ladies want for a personalized video?
Ooh, gosh. Can I get a range?
All right. Yeah. So the average cameo, I'd say, is between $20 to $100. Just kind of broad range. It can be higher. Mainly it's higher. Usually they're not too much lower than 20.
Okay. I'm gonna say 50.
All right. $50. Kush.
Yeah. I have no idea who these women are, but I'm gonna just guess 100.
100 flat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the Twisted Twins are charging $100 for a cameo. So
I'm coming for that championship, Janell Smith.
He's coming in hot.
Oh, you are. Oh gosh. Time to put on the gloves. Okay. Here we go.
Right.
On guard.
Next up, I have Miss Britt Baker, DMD. She is a dentist. She is also a pro wrestler. She's currently signed to AEW and is the current reigning female champion of AEW. She is actually also a practicing dentist. She went to dental school and when she's not wrestling, she practices at a dentist office in Florida. And right now, she actually closes her practices on Wednesdays so she can travel for the AEW tapings.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I am going to say 100.
100.
That's probably
Kush.
not a bad bet, actually. But she's also a dentist, so she likes charging people a lot of money. I'm gonna get 250.
250.
250
All
for the
right.
doctor, for the dentist to say happy birthday.
Dr. Breaker is charging $200.
Oh,
So
What?
actually, Janelle gets the point there.
Oh my god.
Next up, we have Sujara Sarge Eubanks. She's a UFC fighter who fights in the bantamweight division. She was featured on Tough 26, competing
Ultimate
for
Fighter.
competing for a 6-figure contract for UFC. She didn't make the final fight because she experienced kidney failure from trying to cut weight.
That will
oh
happen.
no.
So that tells you how hard this lady goes.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, what do we think she wants for a cameo? No.
Okay. Let's see. Ooh, 150.
150.
Probably a pretty
Push
good
for
bet.
it. Oh,
I'm gonna go half of that and say 75.
75.
Again, I don't know much about her, but if she's on the injured reserve list right now, her fan base is waning.
I mean, Tough was a while ago.
Mhm.
But
That's true.
anyway, she's charging $95. So, push for point.
Ooh.
Push for push.
All right.
Yeah. Kush is up 2.
No way. Oh my
You're,
god.
yeah.
I'm so excited there.
2
Oh my
2 to
God.
1 right now. Oh.
You're for that title. Okay.
You're on fire.
I'm in
All
a
right,
turtle
well-
defense right now. Come on.
We have 2 left, and I think you may recognize these ladies are a little bit more prominent in the media, or at least they were at one time. Mia Hamm, Miss Mia Hamm, 2-time Olympic gold champ, 2-time Women's FIFA Women's World Cup. She's been retired as of 2004, and in this year, 2021, she was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame. Well, Janelle, what do you think Mia Hamm currently wants for a cameo?
Okay, let's see. Geez, I'm gonna say 100.
All right, 100.
I'm gonna say $500 because I think I don't think she wants to do any of this, but she's like, well, if you're gonna give me $500, I'll say happy birthday to you, Jimmy. It's all right.
All right. Well, Mia Hamm is charging $125. So looks like point for Janelle, and we're tied here.
Oh my
Ooh.
goodness.
Tied here. So this last one.
Time to stretch.
Yep, here we go.
Okay. Our final pretty cool kick-ass lady here is Miss Christy Yamaguchi. Yes, Christy Yamaguchi.
San Francisco native.
Yes. East Bay favorite. 1992 Olympic champion and Dancing with the Stars season 6 champion.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be weird if she lost that.
All right, Janelle.
I'm gonna say 200.
Okay.
Like I mentioned at the top of the announcement, Christy Yamaguchi is actually a San Francisco native. So I have to imagine she's doing it for $1,000, but she's doing it for charity because she's a pure soul, and she's Christy Yamaguchi.
Right.
You're gonna go full 1K?
1K.
1K.
For the Olympic champion. in Dancing with the Stars. Christy Yamaguchi.
Wow. She is charging a modest $100 for her cameo, believe it or not.
Wow.
So actually, that's a wash. And I do have one tiebreaker here, though. If it came down to this, so
this is how our last battle went, Janell Smith. We had to go
Yeah,
extra innings here.
one more, and here we go. Melissa Etheridge.
Ooh.
Melissa Etheridge, singer, songwriter, breast cancer survivor, LGBTQ community representative, Melissa Etheridge. Janell.
Okay, let's see. Oh dear, pressure. 150. Just yeah.
I'm gonna say $500, and it's going to charity.
500.
Mm-hmm.
She's charging $250. So that means, Janell, you are a 2-time champion of the Robyn Seto Cameo Party. Congratulations.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
I
respectfully bow to you, Janell Smith. I respectfully bow to you, Robyn Seto.
It was a tight game.
Robyn Seto's Cameo Party. Robyn Seto's Cameo Party.
So much respect.
I was biting my nails over here, so yeah. That's always so much fun. I love that. That's fun. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, well, we like to have fun around here.
Yeah. Janell Smith, thank you for being a part of this tonight. Thank you for your competition here. I look forward to our next battle of the Robyn Seto Cameo Party, if we can get that done. But
I would love it.
Folks, the Iron Dragon Action Fest happened, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't check out IronDragonTV.com and all of its wonderfulness there. Janell Smith, where can other people find you on the social medias?
Social media, my producer page, Janell Vela Smith, producer, on Facebook, and Janell Smith on Instagram, and I'm pretty easily accessible. I always have people reach out with movie ideas and questions about stunts and how to get into stunts. So feel free to always reach out with any questions. I always try to make myself available to people that want to get into making an action film or into stunts. In fact, I still teach and train martial arts because that's my passion. And every so often I'll get some actors in that, really want to take on and get their black belt. So that's kind of cool.
Yes. Any seminars coming up?
I think I have one coming up in October, and I'll post that, more information on that. And I'll share it with you guys so you can share it with your viewers and listeners. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we have one coming up at the end of October. So I'll get that locked in and send you info. But thank you for always, helping us and with our cause, and for loving action films and all that fun stuff. We
have a great time, and I'm glad our paths have crossed. Thank you for being a part of this. Robyn Seto, you do some stuff around here. What do you do?
Yeah, around here I do something called Polite Beer Expressions. It's a weekly craft beer review that you have to read with your eyeballs. But don't worry, they're pretty short, quick, easy to digest little blurbs on various craft beers. I was trying to mix it up, do different styles, different weird things. There's always something different up on the Polite Beer Expressions page. They go up on Thursdays now at noon, California time, because I work from home and accidentally sleep in. But yeah, go check those out. I've got a nice big long catalog up on the BosNet family. And check it out.
And once upon a time, I used to say that Robyn Seto's lowest score in the polite beer expressions was a 4 out of 5. But most recently, the hammer got dropped, and she gave her lowest score ever. Who it was and what it was, you're just gonna have to check out at Polite Beer Expressions here on the BosNet.family.
I think you'll be quite surprised what it is.
I was very surprised. We will not give spoilers on that, though. I do a bunch of stuff around here and out of here. I do a thing called Waffle Box with a friend of the show, Mike Fish. It's once a week. We talk about everything and nothing at all. We recently went into The Plane Ride from Hell, which was a Vice documentary about a very terrible plane ride from the UK back to New York City. That's up on, you can still find it on the BosNet, but it's also on YouTube. Also, Kush and Kai, we recently just lost Melvin Van Peebles, director, Sweetback's badass song. Mari Van Peebles came out with a great biopic about the whole experience. Check that out. And then check out Kush and Kai 45, where we talk about badass. This Wednesday coming up, September 29th, me and Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer Jameel Hemphill, Sweet Science Cinema number 5. We talk about Denzel Washington and the Hurricane. And we're just going to leave it at rule of 3. Otherwise, for Janell Smith, I've been Kush Hayes.
I've been Robyn.
You've been you.
Microdose, 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 yeah, microdose.
From the BosNet family.
I'm going to let everyone on a secret. I'm not Chinese.